Well, hello there. Thanks for stopping in my channel. The title of my channel is Being Me by Pat. And what I'd like to do today is talk to you a little bit about reflexology. But before we do that, let me tell you a little bit about myself. And I'm a licensed massage therapist. I'm a licensed reflexologist, and I have been for over 30 years. I've had an office that I just retired from, so I thought I'd go online and begin to tell you of the events in my office, the results of reflexology, and just some natural health tips for you. I've studied natural health most of my life. I have degrees, especially when it comes to nutrition and vitamin mineral therapy, along with the reflexology, along with the massage therapy. Then I studied in aromatherapy, and the list just goes on and on. But I'll tell you more about that as you tune in to my channel from time to time. If you subscribe, you'll get a notice when I put a video up, and that would be the best thing to do to stay current with all the things I will be talking about and the tips that I'd like to share with you concerning natural health. Now, reflexology is such a wonderful therapy. It's one of my favorites. Out of the therapies I have studied, reflexology definitely is my favorite, and that's where I've seen the most results in my office. Now, like I said, I've had an office, and I had clients for almost 30 years now, very successfully. But I'm in my 70s, so I decide I'm going to retire and just enjoy getting the word out in different forms. I'm in excellent health because I practice what I preach. I have no aches, no pains, no illnesses, no sickness. I take no drugs. And that's the way I'm going to keep it as long as I can. And I think that'll be for quite a while yet. But I'm going to tell you some of the things I've done over the years to make this life so successful, and how I kept my health intact over the years. Okay, let's get back to the reflexology now. Reflexology is a matter of working with the reflexes or the nerve endings on the bottom of your feet or on your hands, and that relate to every gland, every organ, and every system of the body. There's nothing excluded. If you have a problem somewhere in your body, there is a reflex that corresponds with that part. And then you apply pressure to the bottom of the feet or on the hands that relate to that area, and you just work that, opening up the pathways, or what we call the meridians. You work on the body to open the 10 meridians that it flows, the oxygen flows, the blood flows, and when that becomes congested, that's what begins to cause problems. So that's where it all begins. I've studied in the school out of Florida, and it's the Eunice Ingham plan, study, or method, whatever you want to call it, but it's the Eunice Ingham. And that's through the International Institute of Reflexology in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I'm so happy that I went with that school when I did my training, because come to find out over the years, there's a lot of training out there. There's a lot of schools, but they don't seem to hold the wisdom, the understanding that the Eunice Ingham program does. And so I've studied that, and I've used that program for all these years. And like I said, successfully. So the Eunice Ingham program follows the theory that with the meridians, with the reflexes, the approach of the reflexes, inching, this is what we call inching your thumb or finger on the reflexes, and so that you cover most of the reflexes in the feet and the hands while you're moving along with the therapy. Now let me tell you this before we go any further. When I am working on a client, I have an organized pattern that I work beginning on the feet, and I work the same way with every client. I am not all over the place like I have seen many reflexologists. They just they always start in a different location. They're just all over the feet without being organized and getting into a pattern or a flow. And I always thought that was so very important to do, to get into the flow and form a pattern so you know exactly what you're going to do with each client that you work with. And then you won't forget any of the glands, organs, and systems of the body. And what I always do is I start on the side of the foot. I'll just refer to my hand, but the side of the foot, I start for the thymus gland. And then I work through the big toe, which is very important because that has everything to do with the head, which has everything to do with hormones, the beginning part of the hormones, the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, and so forth, and getting the stress out of the head and the neck. That's where I always begin. And then I move on to the toes and then down through the feet. On the left side of the body corresponds with all the organs on the left side of the body. It's like you divide the body in half, and what's represented on the left side is found on the left side of the foot, and what's located on the right side, then that's on the right foot. So that's where I always begin, and I just move along with each reflex. And when that reflex becomes very sensitive, or I put a little bit of pressure on there, and the client responds with a little bit of a jerk or an ouch, I know that that's an area I need to continue working on for a bit and open up the meridian to that specific area of the body. And then I do the relaxation. That's so very important. And the relaxation techniques, as time goes on, I'll show you all these different areas and techniques as you work on feet or work on your own feet. And that's the other thing. You don't have to go to a reflexologist to work on your feet. Just get to know some of the areas, some of your trouble areas, and just begin to put pressure on them and work it out even on your own. And working with your family, working on their feet or hands. You can do no harm by working on someone you're not going to put that much pressure on that you would hurt the individual. That would be pretty hard to do. I'm sure you don't have that kind of strength. And that's the other thing. You need to build up strength in your fingers, in your hands, because that's what you use in the therapy. Your fingers, but mostly your thumbs. And I have developed a great strength in my fingers and my hands over the years. You can imagine. So that would be the beginning thing for you, is begin to work on yourself and just begin to massage your feet. But reflexology and massage are absolutely two different things. You can't say, I'm going to have a massage and think you're going to have reflexology. That's not the way it works. It works completely different. I mean, your reflexologist or your massage therapist will touch some of those reflex points on your feet as you're getting a massage. And I know, like I told you, I'm a massage therapist. I have been a massage therapist for years, but that's not a reflexology session. Reflexology sessions are altogether different. So you want to have a good massage where they may hit some of those reflexes, but the reflexology treatment itself, the therapy itself, is altogether different and has a mighty effect on the entire body. After my clients have had a full reflexology session, they get up off of the chair, the recliner that I use, and it's been said by many of them, they feel like they're floating because everything has opened up. The blood is flowing, the oxygen's flowing. They're becoming much more clear in their head. Their nerves are relaxed, and they just feel so much better. So, and then I combine, after the reflexology session, if they have problems with the spine or the neck or the shoulders or the hips, then I'll go to a chair massage and begin to work some of those areas out using essential oils. It all works together. It's so beautiful how the body has been created, how God has created our body to heal itself if we just give it the opportunity. And that's what you're doing when you go to a massage session or reflexology. And then and don't stop there, then go to the nutrition and the essential oils and all the natural health benefits that are out there for you to become healthy. And your body knows how to respond. Our bodies were created to heal themselves if given the opportunity. And as a practitioner, that's all you're doing. You're giving the body the opportunity to heal itself. I never look at a client and say, well, oh, I healed that client. No, I didn't heal that client. I gave the advice that that client needed. I worked the parts of the body that needed to be worked on. And then their body begins to respond and it begins to heal itself. That's the way we were created. I never take responsibility for someone's health because no one can take responsibility for your health. You have to face the responsibility and do what you have to do to become healthy if you truly want to be healthy. Okay, so as we go on, when we work on the foot, let's say the foot, with the reflexes, I work on the heart area, some very important areas, the heart area, the kidney, the bladder area, the pancreas. And as I'm mentioning these different organs, most of you know what relates to most of those organs and health issues you may be facing due to deficiency or due to an ailment in those organs. The liver and the intestinal area, the colon, the stomach, the digestive tract. I work on all of that, all in one session. And then, and you can do this, like I said in the beginning when we started. You can begin to work on your own. You just need to find out where the reflexes are. And I'll begin to show you week by week. Also, I'd like to suggest going to my reflexology video on YouTube. I think my first one was in 2008. And you can see how I set it up with the client on the chair and how I go through some of the reflexes on that video. But I'm going to update a lot of those now. And now that I'm retired, and I want the public to learn these things because it's so important, and you'll save yourself a lot of health issues if you just learn what to do when these issues come up. And the thing is, reflexology dates way back to the Egyptians and other cultures. In fact, it's depicted on the tomb walls on the, well, let's just say the tomb walls, that they're pictured on actually doing reflexology. Okay, so I hope I convinced you today that reflexology is a good therapy. It's a safe therapy, and you can perform this on yourself. And like I said, you need to take responsibility for your own health. This is a great start right here. And then I'll begin to talk to you about natural health, the things to eat, the things to avoid, the things that are so very important, the natural, simple things that individuals have forgotten. We've gotten so caught up in this world and our jobs and our homes and our families that we forget there's so many natural things out there. And I'd just like to remind you of those natural things as we go along. And I'd just like to remind you to like and subscribe to my channel, and that'll be encouraging for me to continue on, possibly at least once a week or a few times a week. I'll be on YouTube. And if you have any questions, simple one-sentence questions. Don't tell me all about your illness. I don't need to know all of that. Just ask one question or say, I'm dealing with kidney problems, or I'm dealing with diabetes. And then I'm not going to respond back to you, but I'm going to cover that on my video so that everyone learns what to do about these issues. So it's good if you do subscribe and you like the channel, and then we'll begin to take it from there, okay? Become a regular viewer and you'll learn a lot as time goes on. Let me see, was there anything else I'd like to share yet today in this session? I think I got you excited enough that and got you thinking about other natural sources that you could take a look at, rather than just going the way of the medical, possibly that you have been going, or maybe you haven't been doing anything up to this point, but you know there's there's a problem, or you're beginning to develop a problem, well, let me give you the information so you can shut that problem down. All right, well, let me leave you with this, and I'll probably leave you with this every time I have a session, because this is what I say to my clients. Are you drinking enough water? And how much water should you be drinking? Half of your body weight in ounces a day. And the other thing is, are you moving your bowels regularly every day? At least once to 3 times a day. That's where good health begins. If you don't drink the water and you don't move your bowels, you've got a problem. And you will continue to have a problem, and that problem will continue to increase. So drink the water, move the bowels, and if that is a problem for you, tell me. Leave a message and tell me it's a problem. And then I'm going to explain how you need to take care of that problem. Okay, well, it's been great talking to you, and I look forward to our sessions in the future. Possibly day by day or a few times a week, like I said. We'll talk again, and I'm here to help you. I have other channels. Since I'm retired, I'm doing all sorts of other things, and we're going to talk about that also. Activity and social time and all of those things that keep you healthy. But I also have channels on painting and sewing and gardening and all sorts of things. All right, I look forward to coming back, speaking to you, tell others about me, and we'll have a good time at this. Thanks.